You think you're doing everything right. You skip breakfast, you push through the hunger, you made it 16, maybe even 20 hours without food, and then you broke your fast. But what if I told you that moment right there, that first bite, is either healing your metabolism or quietly damaging it? Because breaking your fast the wrong way doesn't just slow fat loss. It can spike your insulin, shut down fat burning, trigger cravings, and keep you stuck in a cycle you don't even realize you're in. You made it through the fast, the hunger waves, the cravings, the mental battle. You stayed disciplined, you stayed focused, and now you're finally about to eat. But right here, this exact moment decides everything. Because the first bite you take doesn't just end your fast, it sends a powerful hormonal signal that can either unlock fat burning or shut it down instantly. Most people never realize this. They think fasting is the hard part. It's not. The hardest and most important part is what happens next. When you fast, your body undergoes a profound metabolic shift. Insulin levels drop, sometimes dramatically. Your body stops relying on incoming food for energy and starts tapping into stored fat. This is where real fat loss begins, not from eating less, but from giving your body the hormonal permission to burn what it has already stored. And as the hours pass, your body becomes more efficient at it. Fat cells begin to release energy. Your liver produces ketones. Your brain becomes sharper. Inflammation begins to decrease. Your system enters a state humans were designed for, but rarely experience in today's world. But here's the part nobody tells you. The longer you fast, the more sensitive your body becomes to insulin. That sounds like a good thing, and it is until you misuse it, because this sensitivity means your body will respond faster and stronger to whatever you eat first. Think of your metabolism like a quiet room. Fasting turns the noise down. Insulin is low, blood sugar is stable. Everything is calm. Now imagine dropping a loud, explosive sound into that silence. That's what happens when you break your fast with sugar or refined carbs. The reaction is immediate and aggressive. Blood sugar spikes rapidly. Insulin surges to bring it back down, and in that moment, your body receives a clear message: stop burning fat, store energy instead. It doesn't matter how long you fasted, it doesn't matter how disciplined you were. In a matter of minutes, your body shifts from a fat burning machine back into fat storing mode. And the consequences don't stop there, because that spike is almost always followed by a crash. Energy drops, hunger returns, cravings intensify, and suddenly you're not in control anymore. You're reacting, you're chasing energy. You're reaching for more food, not because you're weak, but because your hormones have taken over. This is why so many people feel stuck. They fast all day, only to undo it in one meal. They blame their willpower, they blame their genetics. But the truth is far more precise and far more fixable. It's the first bite. That first bite is a hormonal switch, and most people are flipping it in the wrong direction. Now imagine a different scenario. You finish your fast, but instead of reaching for sugar, you choose something your body can handle: protein, healthy fats, foods that digest slowly, that don't spike blood sugar, that keep insulin stable. The response is completely different. There's no surge, no crash, no chaos. Your body stays calm, fat burning doesn't abruptly stop. It tapers gently, your brain stays clear, your energy stays steady, and most importantly, your hunger stays under control, because protein and fat send a different signal. They tell your body, we're nourished, but we're not under threat. There's no need to store excess energy. There's no need to overproduce insulin. And so your metabolism remains flexible, responsive, balanced. This is the difference between someone who struggles with fasting and someone who thrives with it. It's not about how long you fast. It's about how intelligently you break it. Because every time you spike insulin unnecessarily, you reinforce a cycle of dependence on sugar, a cycle of energy highs and lows, a cycle where your body forgets how to access its own stored fuel. And over time, that cycle leads somewhere dangerous: insulin resistance, where your body no longer responds properly to insulin, where more insulin is needed to do the same job, where fat loss becomes harder, not easier, where hunger becomes constant, not occasional, and it often starts with something that feels harmless: a piece of bread, a sweet drink, a healthy smoothie. Consumed at the worst possible time, right after a fast. But here's what's empowering: you can change this immediately. You don't need more discipline. You need a better first decision. Because when you break your fast with intention, everything downstream improves. Your appetite stabilizes, your energy levels even out, your cravings begin to fade, and your body relearns something it has forgotten: how to burn fat without panic, how to exist without constant food input, how to regulate itself naturally. And that's where real transformation happens, not in extremes, not in suffering, but in alignment with your biology. So the next time you complete a fast, pause before you eat, because that moment right there is not casual. It's critical. It's a fork in the road. One path leads back to the same cycle, the same frustration, the same stalled progress. The other path leads to control, stability, and lasting metabolic health. And the difference between those two paths is just one bite, one choice, one signal. So ask yourself before you eat, what message am I about to send my body? Because your body is always listening, and it will respond exactly the way you tell it to. You wake up determined, you skip breakfast, ignore the hunger, push through the mental noise, and tell yourself this time will be different. This time fasting will work. Hours pass, your stomach growls, your energy dips, but you hold the line because you've been told that fasting is the key, the secret, the breakthrough your body has been waiting for. And for a while, it feels like it's working. Your body gets lighter, your mind sharper. The scale may even move, but then something strange happens. It stops. The weight stalls. The cravings come back stronger. The energy crashes hit harder, and you're left standing there wondering, what am I doing wrong? So you push harder, you fast longer, you eat less, you try to out-discipline your body. But the truth is, this was never about discipline. You're not failing fasting, you're breaking it wrong, because the damage, the real metabolic damage, doesn't happen during the fast. It happens in the first few minutes after you end it. That moment you've been waiting for all day, that first bite, that's where the story changes. When you fast, your body enters a survival smart state. Insulin levels drop, sometimes to their lowest point of the day. Fat burning increases. Your body finally gets access to stored energy. Your metabolism shifts into a mode humans evolved to use for thousands of years. It's efficient, it's powerful, it's healing, but it's also fragile, because when you break that fast the wrong way, you don't just return to normal, you shock the system. After hours without food, your body becomes highly responsive, almost hypersensitive to incoming nutrients. And when those nutrients come in the form of sugar, refined carbs, processed foods, the response is not gentle, it's aggressive. Blood sugar spikes fast, insulin surges even faster, and your body receives a loud, unmistakable signal: stop burning fat, store everything. In that moment, your entire metabolic state flips from burning to storing, from stable to volatile, from control to chaos. And it happens so quickly. Most people never connect the dots. They think fasting stopped working, but fasting didn't fail them. Their refeed did. Because every time you break your fast with high glycemic foods, you create a metabolic whiplash, a spike followed by a crash. And that crash isn't just about feeling tired, it's a biological trigger. Your brain senses the drop in blood sugar and responds with urgency. Eat again, crave more, find quick energy, and suddenly, the same person who showed incredible discipline for 16 hours feels completely out of control 30 minutes later. That's not weakness, that's chemistry. And the more often you repeat this cycle, the deeper the problem goes, because your body begins to adapt in the wrong direction. Cells become less responsive to insulin, More insulin is required to manage the same amount of glucose. Fat storage becomes easier. Fat burning becomes harder. This is how insulin resistance begins, slowly, silently, built meal by meal, mistake by mistake. And the most dangerous part, it feels normal because everyone around you is doing the same thing. Skipping meals, then overeating, fasting, then feasting on sugar, calling it healthy, calling it balance, calling it earned. But your metabolism doesn't care about intention. It responds to signals. And when those signals are inconsistent, extreme, and misaligned with your biology, your body protects itself the only way it knows how, by storing more, burning less, and increasing hunger to prevent what it perceives as a threat. So you eat more, you fast harder, you get stuck deeper. And the cycle continues. But here's where everything changes. Because once you understand this, you can break the cycle instantly. Not by fasting longer, not by starving harder, but by respecting the transition. The moment between fasting and feeding, because that moment is where most people lose control and where the most successful people take it back. When you break your fast with intention, everything shifts. Instead of shocking your system, you support it. Instead of spiking insulin, you ease it upward. Instead of triggering cravings, you stabilize them before they begin. And suddenly, fasting starts to feel different, easier, smoother, more sustainable. You don't feel the need to binge. You don't crash after eating. You don't spend the rest of the day fighting hunger because you didn't create the storm in the first place. You avoided it, and that's the difference between someone who struggles endlessly and someone who transforms completely. One is chasing results through force. The other is aligning with biology. So if you've been fasting and not seeing results, if you've been doing everything right, but still feeling stuck, it's time to stop blaming yourself and start looking at the moment that matters most, not the hours you spent without food, but the first 5 minutes when you return to it, because that's where your metabolism decides what to do next. That's where fat burning continues or shuts down. That's where cravings are prevented or activated. That's where progress is either protected or reversed. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. So the next time you finish a fast, don't rush. Don't react. Don't reward yourself with the very foods that keep you trapped. Pause, think, and choose differently because you're not broken. Your metabolism isn't damaged beyond repair. You've just been ending the process the wrong way. And the moment you fix that, everything changes. There's a moment in your day that looks completely ordinary, so small, so routine, you barely notice it, and yet it holds more power over your metabolism than almost anything else you do. It's not your workout, it's not your step count, it's not even how long you fast. It's the exact moment you break that fast, because right there, in that narrow window, your body is listening more closely than ever before. After hours without food, your internal chemistry has shifted. Insulin is low, sometimes at its lowest point of the entire day. Your body has switched fuel sources, moving away from sugar and tapping into stored fat. Your liver is producing ketones. Your brain is running cleaner. Your inflammation is quieter. Your system is, for the first time in hours, not overwhelmed. This is not a passive state. This is a highly active, highly sensitive, highly responsive state. And that's what makes it so powerful, because sensitivity cuts both ways. In this window, your body doesn't just respond to food, it amplifies it. Every bite you take sends a louder signal. Every nutrient creates a stronger reaction. Every mistake becomes more costly, and every smart choice becomes more effective. This is what scientists refer to as increased insulin sensitivity after fasting. Your cells are primed, ready to absorb nutrients quickly and efficiently. But here's the truth most people misunderstand. Just because your body can handle glucose better in this moment doesn't mean you should flood it with glucose. Because when you do, the response isn't balanced. It's exaggerated, Blood sugar rises faster, insulin spikes higher, and the shift from fat burning to fat storage happens almost instantly. It's like slamming the brakes on a moving car. One moment you're burning fat, the next you're storing energy again, and it happens so fast that you don't feel it, but your body does, your hormones do, your metabolism does. And over time, those repeated spikes begin to leave a mark. Because every sharp insulin surge teaches your body the same lesson. Energy is unpredictable. Food comes in waves. Store more, just in case. Burn less, to be safe. This is how metabolic dysfunction begins. Not overnight, but through repeated signals that push your body in the wrong direction. Signals that often come from that one overlooked window. That one moment you thought didn't matter. But what makes this even more dangerous is how it feels. Because breaking your fast with sugar or refined carbs doesn't feel bad at first. It feels rewarding, pleasurable, comforting. Your brain lights up, dopamine rises, you feel a surge of energy. It feels like you've earned it, but that feeling is temporary because what follows is not balance, it's backlash, a rapid drop in blood sugar, a wave of fatigue, a return of hunger that feels stronger than before, and a craving that doesn't ask politely. It demands more sugar, more food, more energy, and just like that, the control you had during your fast disappears, not because you lost discipline, but because your biology has been pushed into a reactive state. This is the hidden trap. The metabolic window doesn't just determine what happens in that moment. It sets the tone for everything that follows. Your energy for the next several hours, your hunger patterns for the rest of the day, even your food choices later that night. One wrong move in that window echoes forward. But the opposite is also true. One right decision creates momentum. Because when you break your fast with foods that respect this sensitive state, everything changes. When you choose protein, healthy fats, nutrient-dense foods that digest slowly and don't spike blood sugar. The response is calm, controlled, stable. Insulin rises gently, not aggressively. Blood sugar stays steady, not volatile. Your body receives a completely different message. We are nourished, but we are not in danger. There is no need to store excess energy. There is no need to trigger intense hunger signals. There is no need to create urgency. And so it doesn't. Fat burning doesn't abruptly stop. It transitions smoothly. Your energy remains consistent. Your mind stays clear. Your cravings stay quiet. And for the first time, you feel like you're working with your body, not against it. This is metabolic intelligence. This is using the window instead of being used by it. Because make no mistake, this window is always active. Every single day you fast, whether you realize it or not. And every single day, you either strengthen your metabolism or stress it. You either build flexibility or reinforce dysfunction. You either train your body to burn fat efficiently or teach it to depend on constant sugar intake. And the decision point is always the same, that first bite, that first meal, that first signal after the fast. It's not random, it's not insignificant, It's one of the most influential choices you make all day. So the next time you reach the end of your fast, slow down. Don't rush to eat. Don't let habit decide for you. Don't let cravings take control. Because in that moment, you are standing in a metabolic doorway. On one side, stability, fat burning, and long-term health. On the other, spikes, crashes, and a cycle that keeps repeating. And the difference between those two paths is not willpower, it's awareness. It's understanding what this window really is. A rare opportunity where your body is open, receptive, and ready to respond. Ready to heal if you guide it correctly. Ready to struggle if you don't. So before you take that first bite, ask yourself one simple question. Am I about to work with my metabolism or against it? Because your body will follow your lead. It always does. And in this window, it follows more closely than ever.